Okay, finally, you guys have asked for it, and I have finally done it with the help of other people. I have compounded the ultimate free-to-play guide for war robots. I feel like this is one thing that's been missing in Warbots or in the Warbots community, is a simple guide on how to get the best robots for free, how to upgrade robots, titans, drones, how to get resources, new equipment, old equipment, all in one compounded document. And that is what I have done. And big shout out to Dennis and Gordon. This would have literally been impossible without them, because they're longtime free to play players. So they know kind of the ins and outs of how to get the most resources, how to get the best robots, what robots are worth getting, weapons, etc. So this is, I will link this in the description. It is a Google document, and also, since it's a Google document, we can update it in the future, which is obviously a cool thing. So in the future, as things maybe change or new weapons or robots come to the game that are worth being added to this document, we will add it into the document. So let's start. I'm going to go through this in some of the important things. So ultimate free-to-play guide for war robots. And I'll also mention, this doesn't just apply to players that have never spent even like $1 in the game. This can literally be applied to like any player. If you want to get more stuff a certain way, it can be helpful. So these are some of the titles, or not columns, the paragraphs. Best robots to upgrade, best weapons to upgrade, best modules to upgrade, best titans to upgrade, best titan weapons to upgrade, best drones to upgrade. And these are actually really important, because most people would think, oh, you just upgrade, you know, the Raptor, the Pathfinder, the newest stuff in the game. That's not true at all. It's almost like the opposite. How to build robots efficiently, acquiring resources as fast as possible for free. Extermination mode guide, how to reach Mark III faster for free. This is all for free. Things to avoid as a free-to-play player, and acquiring free ultimate data pads. So let's start with a few of these things. So the intro is, the goal of this document is to create the ultimate free-to-play guide for robot players. Whether you are a new player, old player, spend money or don't spend money, hopefully this guide can help all players acquire more resources and equipment more easily, as well as direct players to the best equipment that performs well and holds its value, which is really important, because one thing that'll drain your resources insanely fast and cost a lot of money is if you jump from robot to robot like every month. So you want stuff that stays good. Best robots to upgrade. Okay, so this is probably going to be the biggest question. Starting with the Lynx. Lynx, a great choice for free-to-play players would be the Lynx robot. The Lynx efficiency comes from its short cooldown and execution weapon that kills enemies under X percentage. This robot is currently one of the fastest robots in the game. This is all here for you guys to read. I'll read the recommended builds just because there's so many different things. So obviously the Lynx, it was the meta when it came out, and then it did receive some nerfs, but it's still a very good robot. 2 heavy weapons. It has a very short cooldown, the stealth ability, the built-in force field, definitely a very good robot. So the recommended weapons for this: Redeemers, Punchers, Stake, Hammer. Okay, these weapons work the best on the Lynx for the maximum potential. Recommended drones: Kestrel, Shay, Armadillo, and we'll get to drones later. So Lynx is number 1. Then there's Ravana. This is no, I don't know, surprise probably. Another great choice for free-to-play players would be the Ravana, a robot which is able to counter a lot of robots by using the Transcendence ability. This robot provides the robot complete immunity from damage, etc. So one thing is, when it's paired, you really should try to get the Ravana Legendary Pilot Art of Poe, because it gives you an extra ability charge. And recommended weapons for this: Havoc, Mace, Shatter. Pretty much high damage shotgun type weapons work best. The robot requires close range weapons to reach its maximum potential. So close range weapons are always going to be preferred. Close range, high damage, shotgun preferably. Recommended: drones, Shay, Armadillo. Okay, Emoji. An excellent multifunctional robot which brings a lot of value is the Emoji, or Mugi. I don't know how to actually pronounce it in Korean. So recommended weapons: Hazard, Blight, Spike, Needle, Havoc, Scatter, I guess Scatter, Sonic, whatever. Recommended: Kestrel, Armadillo, if you do not have a Kestrel. So if you don't have a Kestrel, remember the Kestrel has been reworked a few times, and now it works really great on stealth robots, because when you go into stealth, you heal up gray damage, and the Emoji is a stealth robot. So Emoji. Then you have the Typhon. So the Typhon is another effective robot available in the workshop. Typhon excels at medium range fights, but can also be built as a brawler, making it yet another highly customizable bot. The robot possesses an amazing ability which shoots 3 energy projectiles. I don't have to explain the ability, you guys know what it is. Very high firepower. It is a bit fragile, but I don't see, dude, the Typhon's such a fun robot that I think it's worth using. Even if it could be a bit more tanky, it's definitely worth adding to a free-to-play hangar. So Skyros, a great choice is everyone's hangar. I've talked about the Skyros a ton. It is literally like the best beacon runner in the game, whether you're free to play or pay to win. You want high damage weapons, even if they have a longer reload for this, because you're gonna go out of that ball ability and then fire away. And then I'll read this part. Its fast mobility and strong defense when paired with the Thesis pilot allows it to quickly capture beacons, push enemies off them, and surprise attack enemies. The surprise is very underrated. So recommended weapons, sonic weapons, freeze rockets actually work surprisingly well, hammer, mace, cudgel, okay? Then Ochakachi. The Ochakachi, believe it or not, it's become a good robot. It was overpowered obviously for a long time, but now it's become a robot that's a lot easier to obtain, and it's been nerfed so many times that I feel like people are starting to understand that it might not get nerfed again because it's going to stay in that same spot. But Ochakachi, a tank with an ability which allows it to traverse the map quickly, blah, 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 blah. This is all here for you guys to read. I will link in the description, as I said. Recommended weapons, mace, cudgel, shatter, plus splinter. So these weapons, a lot of different weapons work on the Ochakachi, but this guide is for free to play. Okay, so these weapons are good free-to-play weapons to aim for and load on to an Ochakachi. And then last robot is Khepri. So the Khepri is pretty safe bet. A robot for the players who prefer supporting their allies. Khepri is a pretty good robot when built properly. Its ability allows it to bond to allies and provide them temporary bonuses within range. The robot has a very good built-in healing, and it's going to help players save power cells. Both Khepri pilots can be solid choices, but Misaki can be more useful overall. It is advised to build your Khepri with all the durability skills possible, so lean into that durability. Recommended Blight or Magnetar. So those two weapons. Okay, best weapons to upgrade. Starting with the radiation weapons, the long-range radiation weapons, not like the Plasma, Terran, Magnum. The radiation weapons are the best choice for free-to-play players, as they offer high damage output, fast reload, and good range. This weapon has no downsides other than them being difficult to use against fast targets up to 100 meters. These weapons are available for everyone in the workshop. Very easy. Workshop, easier to obtain, long range, high damage, and you can make pretty fun builds with them. Blast charge shotguns. And I also know there's a lot of nuance to how people play this. Some people just like playing certain robots. It's more fun to play a certain way. So I feel like in this document, we've done a good job at like putting a lot of different things where a lot of different play styles can work. You can do, Decay, Hazard, Blight, 600 meter range, or you can go Brawling, or you can use a Skyros with rockets. It's a lot of variation. So Blast Charge Shotguns, Hammer, Mace, Cudgel. An excellent choice for brawlers. The Blast Charge Shotguns are some of the best free-to-play weapons. Their main strength comes from the quick burst damage and the ability to bypass physical shields and affect the enemy with the Blast Charge effect. Sonic weapons, dude, I've always said sonic weapons. I'm actually surprised because, I'm not as familiar with the free-to-play because I can use the BR account very often. But players like Dennis Gordon who have been free to play for like years, they kind of know every single like nuance of how to extract the most resources and the best weapons and robots. So I'm actually surprised they had the blast shotguns, but I trust them on that. Sonic weapons. The best weapon choice for assassin robots, these weapons offer great firepower and the ability to deal great damage to the enemy. The sonic weapon's main weakness is the slow reload, so avoid using this weapon on slow robots. True. Slug, split shotguns, Brisant, Shatter, Splinter. Extremely dangerous weapons at a range of 250 meters and still a decent supportive force up to a range of 500 meters. Yeah, the shot grouping is pretty good. The slugs that reach the target, slow it down after several shots. Shells spread and can cause the shotgun to deal less damage than intended, especially against small robots. These weapons are capable or able to shred energy shields fast, but they fire slowly, so they require careful aiming and ammo management in order to be effective. One thing that they told me as well, with the Brisant, Shatter, Splinter, they're very good at like Mark II, Mark III, but at Mark I, they're not that great. They have this weird boost up, unlike other weapons, where at lower level, they don't really carry their efficiency all the way like evenly. They're kind of bad, and then when you finally get to Mark II, then they get good, which is a bit odd, but something to take into account. Okay, I feel it's gonna take too long to read all these descriptions, so I'm gonna speed run it a little bit. Lockdown weapons, Puncher, Magnetar. In today's meta, Lockdown is pretty useful as it can immobilize the target and give you time to run if needed. Punchers offer great firepower, and Magnetar, we know Magnetar insane right now, so Magnetar, great option. Plasma, only Redeemer. They don't have Tyrants or Magnums on here. Redeemer is a very powerful weapon, which is common to most free-to-play player hangers. High damage, moderate fire, rate of fire. Avoid using this weapon with Tyrants unless Auto Stamper. Auto Stamper, is that his last name? I have no idea. Unless Auto is equipped on your robot. Auto increases the fire rate of plasma weapons. Okay, there you go. So those are robots and weapons out of the way. Best modules to upgrade. This one, I'm not going to go through, but it's pretty straightforward. Nuke amplifier, repair amplifier, immune amplifier. Since these came out, they've held their value like completely. So great modules, and they're still the best modules in the game. And then I should read the resource part actually. Can be obtained by grinding 5,000 gold and purchasing it from the shop. Every single Champion League setup should have this module as it boosts your damage by 76% max level. Repair amplifier. The repair amplifier is also a great choice for free-to-play players because it allows you to save power cells, which you would typically spend on repair units. This module is available in Gold Chest. They know all the ins and outs. I didn't even know half this stuff. Immune amplifier, the preferred choice for aggressive players who also like to play cautiously. Immune amplifier main strength comes from the passive bonuses, which are a 10% durability boost and an extra 5 km/h, which is very noticeable. When reaching 20 stacks, you get immunity. This module is available in gold chests. Okay, remember that. Best Titans to upgrade. Starting with Indra. There's not many Titans to chase in this free-to-play guide. There's Indra, Rook, and Luchador. I'm not going to go through it too much, but pretty much we know what these Titans are about, right? They've always been good since they came out. They're mostly tanks. Even the Indra is kind of a tank, even though you don't really think about it that way, because it has that Transcendence ability, or I guess they call it the Vipassana ability. So use these, and then make sure before you choose one, or if you're in the process of building one, read these because they do have good tips. Luchador used to be a beast before the TRA nerf. The nerf made it slightly weaker, but it can still be a viable choice for skillful players. When timing the abilities right, Luchador, hold on, I don't know if you can see that. When timing the abilities right, Luchador can take a lot of damage with its reflectors, and when paired with damage controllers and Titan repair amps, Luchadors can easily survive encounters against other Titans, high damage weapons, Vadra, Mahavadra, Veyron, Evora. Okay, so Titans. Now best Titan, I should move this down. Best Titan weapons to upgrade. Sonic weapons, obviously. Energy shotguns, Vadra, Mahavadra, freeze rockets, Argon, Oxy. And you'll notice, why isn't the Eiffel on here? Why isn't the Bedouir on here? Why isn't the even Shuranga or Heimdall? It's because these are the best bet on your resources. That they've been around for this long, so that they're most likely going to be here in X amount of months or even years. These are the best. I mean, anything could happen, but like I said, these are safe bets, tanky Titans, and same with the upgrades. Anyone can do what they want in the game, but if you're trying to go free to play, this is the best route to aim for these things. And I was also surprised to see the freeze rockets. I know the freeze rockets are effective. Actually, let's read this one. Although they are not as powerful as the other weapons, the freeze rockets can be quite useful in certain situations, such as when fighting rooks or any other physical shield targets. True. The damage and capacity of the freeze rockets is very good, and the main weakness of the weapon is its long reload. These kinds of weapons require practice to reach their maximum potential. The player has to carefully manage their rockets so they do not run out whenever they are fighting other Titans. Very true. It's a long reload, but they do a lot of damage, effective against physical shields and against rooks with physical shields. So best drones to upgrade. Armadillo. The best drone for free-to-players is without a doubt the Armadillo drone. This drone rewards skillful play, encourages beacon running, and is extremely valuable in the PvE mode. Another great alternative would be the Beak drone, which can save your robots from death by providing you stealth when taking huge amounts of damage. For brawlers, whiteout drones can work well enough for a tier 3 drone by EMPing targets, and etc, etc. See, this is also important. Minimum level requirement 9. This drone is quite useless at low levels, so try aiming for the 3rd skill. Tip: when fighting an enemy on beacon and he's low HP, let him turn the beacon white. After that, kill him and you'll be able to receive even more defense points. Yeah, that's a classic tip, is if a robot's about to die and you know you can kill him, let him turn a beacon white and then just kill him, then get the beacon, and then you get more defense points. And you can get more gold for getting beacons. Kestrel, we know about this. The same thing though, minimum level requirement 9. The main value of Kestrel comes from the level 12 skill, but the speed boost is quite useful too. You can heal considerable gray damage with it. The drone can provide up to 40% bonus speed, which is great to help you get out of sticky situations. Their best robots could run this drone are Loki, Raven, Emoji, Nightingale, and Ultimate Aojun, as they can trigger the healing multiple times. Okay? Next, Beak. I won't read through these ones, but Beak and Paralysis, those are the other ones. So Beak, Paralysis, Kestrel, Armadillo. Dude, I'm telling you, I feel like this is by far the best information free to play I've ever seen in one document. Not up to because of Gordon Dennis, because like I said, I did not know a lot of these things. So how to build robots efficiently. This is probably pretty important. The most important tip for players is to know their play style. Some players like running tanks, brawlers, glass cannons, snipers, support, etc. To build a strong hanger, players have to build robots according to their play style and enhance their robots based on what they think they need more of. When building robots, players have to keep in mind what role the robot serves. For example, a Crisis, to be at its highest strength, it requires sniper weapons. For a Scorpion to be at its highest strength, it requires close range weapons. There are highly versatile robots which can be built in a lot of ways, such as the Emoji and Typhon. When using repair amps, try not to run more healing sources. The healing source from 2 repair amps should be enough to keep you alive. Okay, that's a good tip. One of the most important tips, be sure all your pilot skills, drones, modules synergize with each other and help your robot with its weaknesses. Fragile robots can become tanky with the help of Armadillo and repair amps. Slow robots can become faster with immune amps. Speed is a very important factor which keeps robots alive, allowing them to take cover if needed and traverse the map quickly. And then this is every single Champion League setup should have 1 nuke amplifier. Keep that in mind. Okay, skipping ahead. So now we're getting to the acquiring resources as fast as possible for free. So this one gets a little bit more complicated, but it's definitely worth going over because resources is what's going to build your hangar. I'll go over some of the short parts of it. So the best way to obtain resources is the PvE extermination mode. I barely play PvE extermination mode, so this is good information for even me to learn. PvE rewards refresh weekly and provide players with a decent amount of resources and boosters. If the player achieves platinum medal on all levels, the total amount of rewards he will get will be 27 million silver, 850 gold, 950 keys, 2000 power cells, 250 platinum, 2 upgrade tokens, 12 attack and defense boosters. Okay, so they're going through all the different resources from PvE mode. And then they also say the most efficient way to grind silver from playing is the free-for-all game mode. Players can win over 2 million silver by performing well enough, and they can watch an ad to enhance their reward further. Ads, very underrated. So extermination mode guide, always check the modifiers, always use advanced repair units. Since the modules are free in PvE, you may as well spam as much as you want. That's a good point. Do not aim for platinum medals from the start. Invest into items which are good in PvE. Run Armadillo in hard stages. How to reach Mark 3 faster for free. So a lot of you guys have said it's literally impossible to reach Mark 3, and it's as a free-to-play player, it's difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. For most free-to-play players, reaching Mark 3 seems like a difficult task. The main reason why it seems impossible is because players make some mistakes, such as throwing silver and gold into upgrades for items which they won't use. There are a few tips which would 100% help you reach Mark 3 at least one of your robots. The most important tip is to choose carefully what you want to run. Think of a setup which would be viable long term, and you won't remove it from your hangar. Very true. Slowly upgrade this specific item. If you not have the silver to upgrade it. Do not spend any until you reach the amount required for the upgrade. Important, don't aim for Mark 3 right off the bat. Get your setups to level 12, Mark 2 them if they receive bonuses from Mark levels. Always upgrade during 40% discounts. Your silver, keep your silver if there are no discounts. Keep in mind that Mark 2 upgrade costs a lot, and the 40% discount will save a lot of silver. So, you know, when you see that, you know, you see on screen it says upgrade and then it'll be a slash and then the discounted rate. Wait for those times they're saying to upgrade. Things to avoid upgrading meta equipment. Focus on equipment which can be good long term. Do not upgrade things you won't use. Upgrade things which you really need. You'll be saving a lot of resources. Do not upgrade multiple drones. Stick to one drone. Microchips are the hardest resource to obtain. Ooh, interesting. Do not use the workshop if you don't need new items. Do not feel like you are required to always have something in the workshop. The silver you spend for producing components could have been used in upgrading stuff which you really need to upgrade. Okay, and then acquiring free ultimate data pads. I'll just read the first part. Obtaining free ultimate items may seem like an impossible task for most players, but they can be obtained by free through intense grind. Two of the leaderboards which can be grinded for free are Titanic Efforts and Fight to the Death. I won't read this, but if you guys are interested in this, definitely go through it. And then last thing, are blue data pads worth grinding for? Yes, the blue data pads are a great way to obtain the semi-up-to-date weapons, mostly nerf-proof weapons because of them already being nerfed weapons. And always the new robots, such as Shenlu Pathfinder robots, are really new and are going to be there after a certain amount of time, mostly 2 months after nerf. Okay, so we just went through a bunch there. I didn't even go through the whole thing, but I will link this in the description and I'll just keep it in the description from now on. And hopefully we can upgrade it every, you know, whenever it needs to be upgraded. And also let me know in the comments. We talked about this, but like if you guys have any great tips, let me know in the comments and I'll find it and then we can add that to the document as well. But we don't want random players putting like false information on it. But it's obviously like, dude, I haven't even thought about like 70% of these things. So big shout out to Dennis and Gordon once again. Whether you're a pay to win player, free to play player, or a combination, it can really help, I think, everyone acquire things that'll make the game more fun and more competitive for them as well. So there it is. The ultimate free-to-play guide for War Robots is complete. That was a pretty long video, but we got through the important stuff, and hopefully you guys can take this information and use it. Peace out. Banana hot dogs.